Do nothing till you hear from me.
Scott St. James was born on January 25th, 1943, in Lockport, New York.
Come on, baby. Let's do the
Scott got his start in radio at South San Francisco High School when he and friend Steve Skutsky built an unlicensed radio station and made their first on-air broadcasts.
For opener, Steve Skutsky was my best friend in high school, and why on earth he decided that he wanted me to be involved in this crazy thing about putting a radio station in the high school. I had no idea what was going on, and he wanted me to be that guy. Steve, what are you doing? Oh, well, I want to have this to be the thing that we're going to do in the high school thing. You good for it? I want you to do it. Oh, okay.
After high school, from 1960 to 1965, he served 5 years in Korea as a member of the United States Army. While there, he built a country alternative to AFKN, the Korean affiliate of the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
I signed up primarily because my dad, who was a World War II guy, but anyway, so I'm doing this stuff, and I'm playing music there instead of anything else. And all of a sudden, 3 lieutenants come up, and no, we need you as the soldier guy. We want to end this, and so we're going to want you to drop that and come on, pause, and all of a sudden somebody popped up and said, wait what? Well, it turned out he was a general. And he liked the music I was playing, liked it a lot. Told those 3 guys, take a hike.
Following his tour of duty, Scott tried his hand in the real estate market before playing the professional bowling circuit for a couple of years.
And I took a few shots. I won a couple of things, but nowhere near the rest of those guys. Those guys were the absolute best. And I'd be the first to say, you know something, I wasn't that good, but I did all right.
He returned to radio at San Jose, California's KLIV, and then afternoon drive at Hartford, Connecticut's WPOP. Always having tremendous respect for his audience, Scott made a point to travel to local high schools to get to know the kids who listened to his show. He even gave his home phone number on the air, 224-9300.
Well, because these people were having a hard time reaching me, and they wanted to, and so I said, look, here's the deal. Call my home. Here it is, right here.
He opened each show with a train whistle and the words,
The St. James Express is smoking.
In 1971, St. James took over the morning show, where his partner in crime was fellow sports fan Lou Morton. Their frequent guest was then Hartford Mayor George Athenson.
We want to do something else with you. And that could have meant anything. Am I being fired? No, we want you to be the morning show. Whoa, thank you.
Scott left Hartford for St. Louis, where he worked at KKSS, KSD, and St. Louis powerhouse KMOX, where he worked with legendary broadcasters Jack Buck, now NBC sportscaster Bob Costas, and longtime CBS senior vice president and general manager Robert Hyland.
I ended up loving that guy. I mean, he was the boss man. And there's no question about who was the boss man. I'm working with Jack Buck.
Love me tender, love me true.
Scott always believed in the theory of go big or go home. When Scott showed up somewhere, you definitely took notice. He liked to entertain people both on and off the air. He was a big Elvis fan and managed to take a date or two to see the King at the International Hotel in Vegas. And when he did, the girl was always in for a treat.
My date gets kissed. Needless to say, she goes crazy because Elvis just kissed her.
He moved to Los Angeles in 1979, where he was hired at Gene Autry's Station of the Stars, KMPC, and joined famed Los Angeles radio personality Robert W. Morgan as part of the Good Morgan team.
Robert W. taking me on there, that was a big move for me, because he's working with Robert W. Morgan. Hey, he must be somebody important.
This here's the story of Cassius Clay, who changed his name to Muhammad Ali.
During this time, Scott also formed a friendship with three-time world heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali.
Ali, you know, he went through a bad period of time. He said something and it bothered a whole lot of people, and they wanted to knock him out of business. Well, I got on the radio and went on his side. Well, he liked the fact that me with this hotshot radio station on, and I'm saying good things about him, while all these other people were saying bad things about him. As it turns out, we all found out he was the best boxer in the history of the world. And then we became friends.
I'm back in the saddle again.
He also produced The Gene Autry Story, a 9-hour star-studded special that followed the singing cowboy from his more than 3 decades as a performer in radio, TV, and film, to his ownership of both radio and TV stations and his beloved California Angels baseball team.
Got every living president, every living big-time baseball people, like all the big ones during that time. Same thing with the country music people. Anybody who was anybody, Roy Rogers, all those people. You know, they all came on.
Wake me up before you go.
Scott's other on-air jobs in L.A. included working with Kiss FM's Morning Man and weekly Top 40 host Rick Dees.
Rick Dees started doing the morning show, and brother, I mean, he was King Kong there for a while, and he decided he wanted me to hook up with him, and he and I have been good friends since.
And then KFI's Charlie Tuna.
He had several shows, and I was a part of 2 of them that he did, and I really enjoyed working with him. He was just one of these guys that if you can't like him, you can't like anybody.
Once named the Jammer with the Hammer, he picked up multiple Golden Mike and Mark Twain Awards for commentary writing. His daily morning commentaries on Arrow 93 FM with Uncle Joe Benson covered a broad spectrum of topics, from sports to entertainment to politics. And over a period of 9 years, definitely raised an eyebrow or two, both on the radio and in his regular online blog.
Joe Benson was a guy that had written a bunch of books about the music and everything else terrific. When I ended up working with him, I mean, I knew exactly who he was, but this would be the first time that I'd met him. And I was doing, sometimes on shows, I'm doing music and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Maybe I'm chasing women, who knows? But in this particular case, I was doing sports. I really enjoyed him.
As a broadcaster, Scott was a natural, and his award-winning radio personality brought him many years of success.
I was the luckiest SOB in the world.
I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
In the 80s, Scott was also the on-camera sports director at LA's KHJ-TV, Channel 9.
I showed her the thing that we had put together, the demo. There was a pause, and she looked at me and said, "I have never seen a demo like this in my life." Pause, and I figure I'm dead. Pause. Can you go tomorrow? And that's how I got that.
Also during this time, Scott regularly hosted the Los Angeles Police Department's Celebrity Golf Tournament. Every December, Scott would throw his annual Christmas party for his friends and coworkers. Always a showman, Scott threw these infamous shindigs at Hollywood hotspots like Ma Maison, Le Dome, and Nikki Blair's.
Every one of those people, there was something about them, in my mind, that they had done a lot of good things. And so that's why I wanted them all to be a part of it. So that's how that happened.
Well, I hope you come to see me in the movie.
Scott St. James caught the acting bug and made his first appearance on the big screen with a role in Heart of a Champion, the Ray Mancini story, executive produced by Sylvester Stallone.
I had to walk into a room, and again, this is because Stallone right then was a big guy right then. And all these famous people that are going to make this decision. And I'm walking in there. They've never seen me before. And so I answered a couple of questions and everything else and said, okay, you're hired. And so that's how that happened. That's how it got started. And from then on, I've been lucky.
Since then, he has appeared in dozens of motion pictures, including 1988's Tape Heads, 1999's Little Heroes, and Acceptable Risks with Brian Dennehy.
But just a tremendous actor, and I was thrilled to be part of that. How did I get hired? I don't know, but I'll take it.
His TV work includes Dallas, ER, The A-Team, Murder, She Wrote, The Young and the Restless, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond. Well, I got a chance to walk in. Let me tell you how I got that job. First of all, it's like with anything else. They just don't hand it to you automatically. But for some reason, they decided, okay, let's bring him in. Let's see what he's got. So they put me in the room. Now, keep in mind, I'm not in mine. Why did I do what I'm about to tell you? I decided to show up wearing sunglasses. Now, that could have just been the end of me there, but they liked it, and they hired me. And as a matter of fact, I ended up wearing those glasses most of the time while I was doing the whole show.
His national television commercial credits include roles for American Express, Pepsi, DirecTV, and the Honda Motor Company.
Andy, you can cut the tension with a knife. Here we are. Andy, there's a good look at the Honda CR-V.
Do you know this thing's been running for 3 months? And I didn't know because I was too busy doing the radio show in St. Louis. And so then I started hearing more and more from people, this thing's been going for 6 months? What the heck is going on? And so then I called my agent, Sid. I said, Sid, what's going on here? Yeah, and you're going to get paid for this. This thing's going to last over more than a year. How about that?
He briefly returned to radio and St. Louis in 2004, where he did an informational talk show on KTRS, Talk Radio St. Louis.
I was asked to come there because I'd been there before, and they wanted me. They wanted me to be the guy, and I was the afternoon guy.
In 2005, he came back to Los Angeles to focus on his acting career full-time. But having radio in his blood, he continued to make guest appearances on the cable radio network with Mike Horn.
He's got relatively a small station, but there's a lot of people listen to him. And what I was doing there for a while, just once a week, Fridays, I would go in there because Mike wanted me to be there if I could be there at all. And so I did. I'd go in there, and I'll never forget the first time. You haven't changed a lick, have you? I was jumping on somebody.
For more than 50 years, Scott St. James has entertained millions of people from coast to coast with his distinctive voice and charming wit. He's worked with the best in the business, and he and his celebrity friends have given their time and money to hundreds of charities and individuals in need. There are lots of people who made their mark in radio and television, but few that are considered true broadcasters. They are those unique individuals who relate to an audience one-on-one and are not afraid to tell it like it is. Scott St. James is a man who always did just that.
I would get calls, can you participate? Can you participate? Damn right I can. And if somebody hasn't brought it up, but I have brought it up, I'm always happy to do that, always was. And it's just a matter of, I like to walk out and I see people who have smiles. And so if I can walk out of a place in which you are not really having life where you would like it to be, but when I'm leaving along with others and they're smiling, I'm like, yes.